Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal have lost 2-1 to Liverpool in Philadelphia, and that marks the end of our preseason tour, which has been in the USA. Now, 3 games we played there. 1 draw against Bournemouth, 1 loss against Liverpool, and 1 win against Manchester United. And I would say it has been a perfect tour. It has been a good experience for the team, for the manager, and for the coaches to understand how the team is and where we are in terms of our preparations. However, I want us to dive into the 5 things we learned from this game, because I saw some things that reflected what we saw last campaign, and also some changes that Mikel Arteta should pay some good attention to. Now, I'm not going to overreact on this one. I'm not going to say the team played very poorly or this and that, but there are a few things that you've got to pick out of preseason. Again, that's the reason you play preseason games, to pick up on a few things here and there. So we were beaten by Liverpool 2-1. Mohamed Salah in the 13th minute. We have a very big conversation around that goal. Fabio Carvalho in the 34th minute, and also Kai Havertz scoring for Arsenal as halftime was approaching. Now, one of the things that you saw in this game was Arsenal having a lot of possession but doing nothing with it. And that's something I talked about last season. Creativity from Martin Odegaard. When Martin Odegaard is not creating, when actually the goal that Arsenal score comes from Martin Odegaard. So when Odegaard is not creating, when Odegaard is not trying to make things happen, this Arsenal team look blunt. This Arsenal team look out of ideas. And I'm so happy that as I record this video, Arsenal are very close to signing a player in the names of Mikel Moreno, because Mikel Moreno allows you to have another attacking option, another creative player in midfield, alongside Odegaard. So what Liverpool did, and they were very, very brilliant, by the way, Liverpool. What they did in this game, they didn't allow Thomas Partey to get on the ball and dictate as much as he would love to, and they didn't give Martin Odegaard that kind of joy that he wants to have, in those pockets of spaces around the penalty area or just behind the penalty area. They didn't give him those that freedom. So in the end, we couldn't create, but also we couldn't be on the ball as comfortably as we wanted. Actually, when you look at the statistics in this game, they will show you that Arsenal had 61% ball possession, but that is because in the last 15 minutes of the game, Ancelotti took off every starting member, every first team player, and then he brought on kids. And this possession here, 61% ball possession, 568 touches. That is because in the second half, Arsenal are playing kids. We played Liverpool kids. And I'm going to say this, they were very organized. Liverpool looked like a team that knew what they were doing, and they looked like a team that had come to do a job, and they absolutely got that job done. They created a lot of chances against us. It wasn't the best Arsenal team that you could put out against Liverpool. I'm going to say this as well. But I thought we could have done a little bit better with this lineup. Listen, Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, and Reece Nelson up top. That is decent enough. Kai Havertz, Partey, and Odegaard. That is decent in midfield. And Alexander Zinchenko, Gabriel, Kiwior, and White. That is not very bad, but it's a little bit decent. You can work with that. But in the end, Liverpool had the much better joy. Liverpool had the much better result. So some of the things we learned, or some of the things I wrote down in my notebook, first and foremost, Kai Havertz in midfield doesn't work. So this is how we set up. Kai in the middle, Partey in the middle, and Odegaard in the middle. Of course, Kai Havertz playing on the left-hand side with Alexander Zinchenko and Gabriel Martinelli. That left-hand side was absolutely dead. Like, historically dead. That is the worst I've seen from, a combination of players at Arsenal. Against that Liverpool side, they didn't do anything. They didn't try to impact the game. I thought Alexander Zinchenko at some time was okay, but playing Zinchenko meant that Liverpool were going to have a lot of joy with Mohamed Salah. And indeed, in that game, they had a lot of joy through Mohamed Salah, and the goal comes from there. But why I think that, why I'm saying Havertz doesn't work in midfield is literally in that game, he was doing nothing. I'm not going to lie. He was doing nothing. Yes, he gets the goal, and the position in which he gets the goal, That is where he's supposed to be playing. That is where we need to see Kai more. We need to see him in that pocket, not in that pocket, as the leader of the forward line. Stop playing him in the pockets of space. Stop trying to make him your number 8. Now, if we're trying to make him our number 8 in order for us to sign a striker, forget it. Let us not sign a striker. Because I don't understand why Mikel Arteta really thinks it can work. It can't work. I would rather play Jorginho and Partey and Odegaard. I'd rather play Vieira in that position because Vieira is a proper midfielder, and Vieira has got that creative instinct. So for me, Kai Havertz in midfield, guys, it doesn't work. We saw it yesterday. I watched that game for 100 minutes because we had added time 5 minutes and added time 5 minutes in the second half, and that made it 100 minutes. And I watched it for 100 minutes, and Kai Havertz in the middle of the park, it doesn't work. Play him up top. He's our striker. We should not try to confuse that. Now, again, you've got to understand Mikel, and I do understand him. Why he's playing him in that position is he's trying to find a way of playing Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus in the same team. Gabriel Jesus has been really working hard. He looks fit. He looks sharp. If he comes back into the starting 11 and Mikel Merino comes into the team and is fits in very well, Kai is going to be on the bench. So, guys, we will have the conversation about Kai Havertz and Jesus who starts, but at the moment, let's stop playing Kai in midfield. The second observation I made in this game was a high press is still a problem. And Liverpool did it very well yesterday. So what Liverpool were looking to do, and I think they struggled with Arsenal. They struggled to press us a little bit in the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes. They struggled a little bit. But what Liverpool were looking to do in that game, they were making sure that Arsenal don't play out from the back. And of course, the situation was made worse by the fact that Kivio was playing at right centre back. He was playing alongside, he was playing in front of a goalkeeper in Karl Hein, who is not confident on the ball. I don't think he's got the levels of Raya, the levels of, Steele on the ball. So when you combine all that, when you put all that together, it was a disaster, a pure disaster. But why I actually pointed out that problem of the high press is it was a problem for us last season. Aston Villa, FC Porto, Fulham. When you think about all those games that Arsenal didn't win, the other teams didn't allow us to play out from the back. They actually pressed us on the front foot. They played on the front foot, and they played a high press. Now in this game, Liverpool were brilliant. I don't know how Arne Slot has turned them into such a pressing machine, such a pressing monster, but I am scared for my life. I am scared, really. So Arsenal still struggling with a high press. And again, for Mikel Arteta, it's going to be two questions. How do we play quickly and better through a high press, like Spain did it with Del Fuente in the Euros? That's number one. Alternatively, how do we go above the high press and try to find joy? So I think Mikel has been doing his homework, and that's why we're signing Mikel Merino. Because with Mikel Merino, the thing you have with him is you have a player who can help you bypass the high press as quickly as possible and as effectively as possible. He's tall, he's good at winning those aerial balls, and he's also very good at loving the challenge. So the high press is still a problem. But we pray, and I pray, I pray that by the time we get into the last days of by the time we get into next season, Arsenal have found a way. Otherwise, clubs are going to, try to press us on the front foot, and we are going to find very big problems. The right wing cover is still a problem, guys. The right wing cover is still a big problem, and we've got to talk about it. So I saw Nelson start. Then we saw Fabio Vieira play on the right wing. This Arsenal team on the right-hand side without Saka, it is as important as a bag of nothing. It's like when you pack you're going on a vacation and you know it's going to be sunny and it's gonna rain some days, and then you get a big bag and you put nothing. You absolutely put nothing. That is the cover we have for Saka. Reece Nelson wouldn't be a bad player, but Reece Nelson is not an Arsenal player, guys. He's not at the level that Arsenal need him to be. If West Ham have decided to go to and sign Crescencio Somerville for 25 million and leave Reece Nelson could have been like 5 million or 6 million or even 10 million cheaper than Crescencio Somerville. That tells you everything you need to know about Reece Nelson and Arsenal. West Ham cannot take him. You cannot use him. I mean, we are going to be in title challenges. We are going to be in, battles. Reece Nelson is not the right man for the job to cover for Bukayo Saka. So right now, as we complete Mikel Merino, let's think about Sane. Let's think about Pedro Neto. Let's think about Rafinha. Let's think about Chiesa. Even Chiesa would do a much better job than Reece Nelson. I don't know how much Chiesa earns. That could be a problem maybe. But if Arsenal can agree on personal terms with Federico Chiesa, for him to come in and, just destabilize and push Saka and push Gabriel Martinelli, that would do. That really, really, really would do, right? So, I'm going to say this, guys. I'm going to say this. We need a good cover for Saka. Fabio Vieira, I know that Mikel Arteta sees him as a Bernardo Silva, but not for me. Really not for me. Yes, I see him as a Bernardo, but in midfield. Not at right wing. Not at right wing. Please, can we play Fabio Vieira in his best position? If we are not going to play him in his best position, can we send him out on loan or can we sell him already? Because we are losing his value and we're going to lose more value this season if he doesn't play. So, I wanted to talk about that. The right wing, it's not working. Point number 4. Possession doesn't win you games. Possession doesn't win you games. I've seen 2 examples of this. One game, actually, Arsenal won. The other, we have lost. In this game, Arsenal had 61% ball possession, 13 shots on goal, 2 on target. Liverpool had 10 shots, 4 on target, 39% of the ball. We need to be more effective in moving the ball. We need to be more effective in the final third. And the reason as to why Arsenal are not effective well in the final third, I looked at Gabriel Jesus yesterday. Good player. Didn't have a bad game. It wasn't really a bad game. It wasn't a good game, but it wasn't really that bad. And one thing I saw with Gabriel Jesus yesterday is he's a player who loves many touches. Same with Gabriel Martinelli, because Martinelli could have had two chances where he would have had his shot gone off, and he didn't. So for me, I want to say this, right? I want to say this. If you're Mikel Arteta, right? If you are Mikel Arteta, you've got to ask yourself a question. What works best, right? Is it Jesus, Havertz, and all these strikers that are wasting our time? Or is it getting in a striker? Possession doesn't win you games. It is how effective you are with that possession that can actually win you games, that actually wins you games. So, I think we will have to reduce the level and the thickness and the magnitude of our possession, be a little bit more effective in the final third. And lastly, I think signing a striker and Mikel Merino are going to be big impacts to this Arsenal team. I can already see it. A striker, whether he arrives this summer or he arrives next summer, will be a massive boost to Arsenal. Mikel Merino is going to be a massive boost to Arsenal and Mikel Arteta's side. And with Mikel Merino, I can already see it. I can already see where he's going to play. I can already see why Mikel is signing him. We can already see it. Like, we need a central midfielder, a proper CM. We need a proper CM. I don't care if Partey drops to the bench and Rice plays alongside Merino and Odegaard. I don't care. But we need a proper central midfielder. But with the striker thing, Mikel Arteta, if we don't get a striker this summer, both Edu and Mikel Arteta will look back and regret again. Because it won't be the first time we regret not signing a striker. It won't be the first time we say, oh, Arsenal should have signed a striker. But if we don't sign one this summer, we are going to look back and we will regret. Because a striker will just allow us go forward. A striker will just improve our game in the attacking sense. And I know many people look at us and say, we score many goals. Yeah, we do score many goals. But imagine if we had a proper 9 contributing to the goals we score. It would be better. It would be much better. Jesus made Man City better. Jesus allowed City to score many goals and he allowed them to play different styles. But eventually, they binned him and brought in Haaland. So, for the love of God, can we get a striker? Those are the 5 things I looked at in that game and I was like, we need to talk about them.